Hey guys, as you probably know, in old Japan, arranged marriages were not uncommon. People would often arrange to have their daughters married to their friends' sons and that sort of thing, or sort of important people would arrange marriages between their kids. Of course, these days that's not so common, and you never really hear about it. Occasionally you will get arranged meetings. So for example, I actually do know a girl whose mother brought her, and her mother's friend brought her son. So the two mothers came together with the daughter and the son in a restaurant and introduced them to each other and got them talking, and then left them there. They went shopping for a couple of hours and just left the son and the daughter sitting there at the restaurant talking to each other. So that sort of thing does still occasionally happen, where sort of they set people up, you know. Parents will occasionally set their kids up. It still occasionally happens, but there's no arranged, no forced marriages, you know. Everybody has a choice, of course. So that does still happen. But what's more common now is a different thing, where they have a thing called konkatsu. Now, kekkon is a marriage, and katsuro is activity. So, konkatsu is a marriage activity. So basically, it's singles party. Really, is probably what we'd call it in English. And sometimes it's just friends organise it. So they'll get 4 single girls and 4 single guys, and go out to dinner, basically. Typical Japanese style. It's a little bit more like, what would you call it? A little bit more formalised or something, a little bit more, they've got to put a name on it, you know. In another country it might just be, hey, let's go to dinner. Yeah, okay, we'll invite some girls and some guys, we'll go to dinner. Probably a little bit more casual. In Japan, they like to sort of put a name on something and have it a little bit more regimented. So they'll, I'm going to a konkatsu party, they'll say, you know. And it's really just 3 guys and 3 girls having dinner together, or even 2 girls and 2 guys having dinner together. So that's sometimes the case. Sometimes they have big ones. Now, recently, companies have been doing it because it's good business for them. If they can get the staff to marry each other, it's better for the company, because it's more chance that they're going to keep at least the male. If a female employee and a male employee get married, the female employee may end up having kids and leaving the company, or at least going on leave, but at least they'll get to keep the husband, keep them together. So companies sometimes organise konkatsu, and recently also cities have been organising konkatsu, and towns. So of course small towns have a problem with young people leaving and going to big cities. It happens all around the world, doesn't it? Young people leave the small town because it's boring, go live in the big city, or they can't find a partner in the small town, or they meet somebody who comes from another town or another city and they move there and live with them there. So the solution that some towns have come up with now is the town will organise a konkatsu. And that's what actually triggered me to make this video, is that our small town has organised a konkatsu for this Obon festival time, and they've got 80 girls and 80 guys coming together, and they'll start with a formal meeting in a izakaya. So they'll all come together in izakaya and they'll do the speech. Everybody, even though you're very busy, thank you for coming, and I hope everybody has a good time. They have a very formal speech, and then they'll spread out and they'll go to all these different izakaya and restaurants and things, and move around. And they usually have games, not always, but sometimes they'll have bingo and other things organised to sort of break the ice a little bit with the shyer people. So yeah, quite common now. So recently we made a video about the negative population growth in Japan, and some other similar topics, and this is sort of flowing on from that. It's sort of the nature of Japanese society too. It's a little bit more, this stuff like this is not always, but is often more formalised. I think in a lot of other countries you just have a party and people would come, some people would be single and some would be couples, and I mean that happens here as well, but they tend to be pretty organised about stuff like this. So the konkatsu, is a fairly organised sort of event. So anyway, just a little thing. Just a little passing, interesting little part of modern Japanese culture. Hope you found that a little bit interesting. More videos coming soon.